best foot and I slowly put it out in front of me. 'Cause I heard that leaping in never did much good. With all the heavy metal girls that could lift the world away, it seems.
I'm sitting here with Jon Bartlett, who is the founder of Kelp Records, and it's been around for 16 years, so this is your 16th year celebration, correct?
It is.
Why are you exploding in the 16th year? Not 15, not 10, but 16.
Well, we got our driver's license, so we're going to go down to Toronto and Montreal. Actually, the real impetus for doing more shows this year was having one of my musical heroes, Bill Fox, come up from Cleveland, Ohio, and so I wanted to make a few more dates for him, a few more shows, so he'd have an opportunity to play around a little bit while he's here.
So audiences can expect not just Kelp Records artists, but other artists as well outside of your stable.
Oh yeah, there are a few artists locally and in each city that aren't exactly Kelp Records artists, but they're friends or bands that we're fans of. So we just want to make sure, always mix it up a little bit.
So what are the stages you're on? Where you're expanding out from Ottawa to Montreal and Toronto. How many stages are we talking about?
In Montreal, we're doing one show there on Thursday night. We're doing a show in Toronto on Wednesday night, and then here in Ottawa we'll be doing 5 shows throughout the weekend. Here at the Mayfair Theatre, Carlton Tavern, Raw Sugar, and then a secret location to be announced.
Hit us with the dates so that we know what we're talking about.
Okay, so May the 12th is in Toronto, May 13th in Montreal, and in Ottawa, May 13th to 15th.
Now, you are rather renowned for pulling some pretty freaky-beaky publicity stunts over the years for Kelp. You got anything planned for the 16th?
Beyond the shows, I'm really excited about the final event that we're doing.
This is the secret one?
Yeah, it's the White Wires. They're a fantastic garage band locally, and they've gotten a lot of acclaim in the last year outside of Ottawa. Played South by Southwest this year, and so they're going to be capping off with an event. And I can't really say a whole lot about it except for it's going to be after the Raw Sugar show, so about 1:30 in the morning they'll be playing, and it's going to be fantastic.
It's always a party. And
there's something about Ottawa. I'd always thought of it as a place where you couldn't turn left, and I was very conservative. But once you get to know the underbelly a little bit of all the culture that's happening at the grassroots level, it's mind-blowing. There's so much great music and great art in general that's being made here. A lot of it, we don't get the spotlights of a Montreal or Toronto, but people create it all the same.
The starstruck camera girls all look so sad. Finally signed the papers for your heart.
And it's not as much of a competitive feel about it either. Artists from different disciplines come out to support each other, different music types. The punk rockers will come to a folk show and vice versa. So something special going on. We've got a small town feel, but a lot of great music is being made.
I took my best laid plans and I laid them all out in front of me, knowing my best laid plans never did me much good. With all the heavy metal girls that could have lived a world away, it seems, and not just over in the next neighborhood.
So, Jim Bryson, your career is on fire. I knew you were going to do that. All right, so I'm sitting here with Jim Bryson, who is with Kelp Records as well, and your career's on fire. You don't like me saying that, but it's true.
Well, how many takes did this take? Where I didn't laugh when you said that. But I don't know, on fire, like a forest fire, burning out of control.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Controlled burning, that's what my career is, controlled burning.
What's your relationship like with Kelp Records?
It's great, isn't it, John? No, it's good. I mean, it's sort of like a family and everything that goes along with a family, It's been, John and I put a couple records out together, and I mean, I've always been a big supporter of what he does, so I am not the longest standing person on the label or anything, but it's nice. It's nice. I always said it's nice to know that when you call somebody, they'll call you back. When I was on other labels, it would be like waiting and waiting and wondering and waiting and waiting. And, you know, it's nice to have communication, and it's nice that it's family, and it's nice that it feels good in that respect. And
so is that the reason that you made the move from larger, more a better known label to something that's more indie, smaller?
Yeah, I was telling someone yesterday, and I used to say it when I put my first record out on Kelp, that it's the feeling of small victories is a really nice feeling to have, you know, instead of it being, you know, where 3,000 records for Jon and I is like a great thing. 3,000 records on Universal is a failure. So it's like it's all, depends where your benchmark is, and depends on what your expectations are and what your costs and all that. And we do it in a way that we can sell less records and make money, like even practical, like we can make money.
So what are we going to see for Kelp 16?
I don't know, 16 songs. I always joke because I have no hits, I have familiars. So I play songs that are familiar to people if they recognize them, and then a couple new songs, lots of, you know. I'm sure we got some tricks up our sleeve. A magician never reveals his order of, like, when the dunk tank appears. That's not magic. The dunk tank, that's a carnival.
That is
you know
a carnival.
What I mean?
There's nothing magical about that.
We're gonna have a dunk tank on stage, and Jon will be sitting in it, and we're gonna sell baseball at $5 a shot, all the money going to charity.
Blackout, I see the end of how you say. Bloodstains aren't as clear and natural.
We just talked to Jim. I'm getting to talk to you now, Chris, and you just told Jim to tune your guitar, and he did without even questioning it.
I know, what a good friend he is. I said, Jim, can you please tune my guitar? And he said, okay, yeah, sure. And he ran up there and did it.
Tell me about how long you've been with Kelp Records.
I was trying to think of that this morning. I think it's about 8 years now, which is hard to believe it's that long, but I think it's around 8.
And
so about, you know, halfway through the 16.
Halfway through the 16? So
Something
how did
like
you
that.
meet Jon? How did it happen?
I met Jon playing hockey, actually. We play in this hockey tournament called the Exclaim Cup every year, and I met him, God, I think it was the first year we played in that tournament. It was about 10 years ago or so. And yeah, this like super hyper kid was like, yeah, I have this record label. Ah! And I was like, who is this guy, right? And so we got talking about the record label that he had going, and I had a record that was going to come out around that time. And I said, well, here, you want to listen to it? You know, give it a whirl and see if you want this on your label. And it was funny because he said to me, he's like, yeah, sure, I love it, it's awesome, but listen, you're not getting a manager, you're not getting a tour manager, you're just getting a cheerleader. And I was like, hey, that's all I need, you know? So,
that's great. Does he actually bring the pom-poms out with your show?
He does sometimes, yeah. Yeah, he's always got his pom-poms out, it doesn't matter where you go. You know, it's nice to be a part of a collective like Kelp Records. I think playing independent music is really difficult. You know, there's not a lot of glory, lots of guts, and there's lots of you know, pain along the way. You have to do it because you love it. So it's fun to be a part of, like I said, type of collective that Kelp is.
So tell me about what we're going to see here at the Mayfair from you.
I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm doing my solo stuff. I also play in a band called Camp Radio, and we're playing on Saturday. But this is my solo act, and I've done different incarnations of it over the last little while, and I think my friend Jill Zmud's going to join me and play a few songs, and Jim might even as well. So we'll see as we go. But it's pretty minimal, pretty stripped down stuff.
Can you throw out a few other highlights that you're really looking forward to in your own festival?
Yeah, well, just really happy to be back here at the Mayfair this year. We did one show last year with Jim Bryson and a couple other bands, and this year he's going to be playing again. Just the feeling of doing a musical event here is amazing, and the sound and the theater. So this time we're going to do 2 nights at the Mayfair. I'm really excited about that. And yeah, it'll be interesting to do. We usually do the Saturday night at a bigger venue, but we'll be at Raw Sugar, so it'll probably be a little cozy. But that's a place that's emerged as a venue in the last year and a half. I really think Nadia planned on having a cafe, and we sort of, as soon as it opened, it's in our neighborhood, and we kind of crowded in and said, hey, it'd be really great to do some shows here.
It's a great spot.
Yeah, and so yeah, she's done a lot of amazing things over the course of the year, and so it'll be fun to sort of celebrate there as well.
So where are people headed online to Kelp Records so they can find out more about it?
We have a site set up, kelprecords.com/Kelp16, Kelp16, and all the information's there. And tickets are available there.
Check it out.